Hey guys, just some updates on the Z car here. Got my L28 tore down. Even though it was running really good, I went on and tore it down. I'm going to get the valves done and get the head resurfaced here. I had a little bit of weeping, as I'd mentioned earlier, between the head. It was an external leak, it wasn't an internal leak. But I figured since I got the engine out, now's a good time just to get the head all fixed up. And I got the cam out of it, got all the rockers out of it, got the transmission all cleaned up. Got the front of the engine cleaned up somewhat, going to give it a little bit more cleaning. Got the block tore down, as you can see, got the oil pan off of it. We pulled the main bearings out, and this thing looks great. No damages, no scarring in the bearing material, and they're standards, so this thing hasn't been worked on before. And I can even still see cross hatching in the cylinder walls, so it looks really good. Got the bolts out that were broken, and broke a few more bolts in the process of taking this thing apart. Got all those out, but as you can see, this is where your front of the engine is. All the timing stuff is off. We got everything cleaned up. Got to clean the block a little bit more, of course. You can see where we clean gasket material and all that kind of stuff, but it's coming together. Sorry, my camera's fogging up. There we go, that's better. Anyways, you can see how clean everything is there. And the top of the engine's good. I cleaned all the bolts for the head. We broke 3 head bolts. They were actually just seized into the actual head. And so I'll be putting studs in this thing by ARP. So it's going to get studs instead of bolts. And then of course we got our oil pan over here. It's got a little bit of material in it, just some old gasket material and stuff, as you can see. That's just some material there from where we were cleaning up the front of the engine. This lip is open right here, so got some stuff there. We got our oil pump, we got all of our accessories here. Been keeping bolts up here as well. There's our cam back over there with the towers and the bearings. A new timing chain, everything's in the box here. And I've got all stainless steel hardware for this engine. So we got all the stainless steel hardware that'll be going back into this engine, and should clean up really good. But this is kind of where I'm at with it. Got a new rear main seal in it that was leaking, and of course now I'm waiting on some more stuff to come in. I'm going to paint this block the original color, clean it up really good. So I got some cleaning to do before I paint it. But yeah, that's where we're at with it. So that's what's been going on so far, and I'll have you guys more updates as we move forward here. It's a few weeks later here, and as you can see, I've got the rear end all reassembled here with the R200 rear end, the differential, and all new bushings. Only thing we don't have is the brakes. Got to put all the brake stuff on there, and I got to replace some of the actual studs for the wheels. That's the rear end all together. It looks really clean. Had everything sandblasted and painted it here. And the rear end, the front end, I'll get it right in a minute. The front end here is all put back together. Once again, these are the struts, the strut towers off the 280Z. So got that all reassembled here and put together. All new ball joints, everything in there in the front. So that's all done. I did get some bad news though. I took my head to the machine shop, and it's actually twisted. So that's why I had a leak. And so I found another head. I got to take it and see if it's any good. But got a head right here. Need to be cleaned up, of course. But I'm going to take it to the machine shop before I do anything to it. Just make sure it's actually straight, and it can be resurfaced. The other one, somehow it's twisted. It's really odd. But it came with another engine as well too. So I got a spare N42 engine. So that's really nice. I'll probably clean it up as well and just keep some stuff around as parts for the future, or pass them on to somebody that could use a good block. But anyways, that's just some updates of more stuff going on here, and I'll bring you guys back as we continue on. Alright, it's about a month later now since I made the last part of this video. We now have a good engine. This is actually the engine that was all rusty looking and painted red. The head, actually I took it to the machine shop and it was straight. So it was a good head. They resurfaced it for me, did a valve job, and got that back on here. And After looking at the engine, even though it was full of dirt dauber's nest, I cleaned it up, and actually everything looked better on this block than the actual block I was going to use that came out of the 2+2. So I've got this engine all rebuilt and cleaned up, and I'm getting ready to test run it. It's still just kind of partially put together as far as the engine goes, but waiting on some fittings. This is a new fuel rail. Updated the fuel rail on this one. It's a new regulator, but I don't have the AN6 barbs to hook up to a fuel rail, so I got to get those, and then I can plumb that in for some fuel delivery. I'm going to wire this thing up just like I did the Turd 280 when I test ran that engine. So I got the distributor I used on the Turd 280Z to test crank it up. So I got the transistor module, the ignition module, and got to still put the the coolant system on it. The actual thermostat housing was ate up. Started trying to get the bolts out of it, and I was drilling them out. Got them out, but the inside just looked terrible. So I bought this billet aluminum thermostat housing, which looks really nice. Hey, Nisi. So anyways, did that. We got the compressor all back on here. The compressor was actually still good on the 2+2. Still turns nice and free, so no problem there. And so got all that put back together, and it looks really good. Just been really cleaning everything up. Got some, we're gonna put a thermostat gauge and stuff on it, so when we fire it up, we can watch the temperature and everything, because I don't have the radiator and everything on it before we crank it here. But anyways, that's just a look at some updates here. Really proud of how this engine's coming together. It looks way different than it did. I polished the valve cover, so I got that all cleaned up. That was a job. Wore my hands out doing that one, but got that all cleaned up. Still got some detailing to do. Just kind of stuck some stuff back on here because I will be putting a new header on this engine. So we just got the original manifold back on it temporarily just to test run it. But it's actually sitting in the frame, the front suspension of the 260Z. We rebuilt it, as you saw earlier, and we're just using it actually as an engine mount, since that's actually what it does in the car anyways. So it's just a nice way to mount this thing up. And I had a bad automatic transmission that came out of my 2+2, so I took the bell housing off it just so we could mount the starter. So I got the flex plate in there bolted up, and so just using it really just to test run so we can crank this thing over. But anyways, I'll have you some updates after I start wiring this thing up. I'm going to be using the Turd 280Z wiring harness for the injection system, and I'll be running it on this engine just like I showed you how I did it in the floor. How I went through the whole process of how it works, which I'll put a link to that video if you guys are interested in seeing that. But I'm going to basically wire this up just like I did in the floor, and we're going to test run this engine with that harness. So I'll bring you guys back when I start wiring this thing up. Alright, so I got my fittings in I was waiting on for this fuel rail. You can see I got my pump set up over here in tank, just like how we moved the 2+2. Got an ignition switch there, I can crank the starter up. Got our pressure gauge, our water temp gauge. Of course, I got all of our ignition stuff hooked up here. So I've already got ignition, and the switch right here I added. This is how I actually engage the fuel injection system. This is our fuel pump, so we'll activate it. You can hear it run over there. Flip the switch. We can hear our relay kick on for our injection system. We'll go over here. You can see our fuel pressure right there. There it is. Runs great. Got good oil pressure. that fuel rail really looks good. I got our tilt switch, our temperature sensor hooked up right here. And it's now starting to warm up a little bit. It's so cold right now though. See? And then when I want to kill it, I go here, flip the switch, and we've killed our injection system. Remove the fuel pump, ignition module, and there we go. And now we're back where we were. But anyways, just want to give you guys a little demo of this thing running. I'll probably make another video once I get the body. I might go try to make some videos of the body, but I'll put some pictures in here so you guys can see the progress of the body. And then of course there'll be some more updates to come here very soon. Thanks for watching. A little extra content for you guys. I got the L28Z engine running. I'm going to bring you out here. It's too loud to show you. Here we go.